everybody to another BDA film analysis. In this episode, part 2 of the Srisaket Sor Rungvisai vs Juan Estrada fight that will be taking place in February on HBO. And in this episode, of course, part 2, we're going to be taking a look at Juan Francisco Estrada, El Gallito, the little rooster. Let me tell you something about Juan Francisco Estrada. He has been one of boxing's hidden gems for a long time now. He came to prominence when he took on a prime Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez and actually, displayed a lot of good skills. He held himself up to a high standard, displayed that he was a good fighter, and even though he ended up losing, his stock really climbed. And ever since then, he's been fighting good opposition. He was out of action for a while because of an injury, but now he's back. Last year, he took on Carlos Cuadras in a very good fight, a very good showing, and beat Cuadras by a decision. And now he's taking on Srisaket Sor Rungvisai. So it's not going to be an easy fight for either guy. There's people in the comment sections that have been saying that Juan Francisco Estrada is going to be too weak, that Sor Rungvisai is too strong. But I disagree. I think he has the best of both worlds. He can box a little bit like Cuadras, although he's not as fast as Cuadras. And although he doesn't hit as hard as Gonzalez or as intense in his style as Gonzalez, he can fight on the inside as well. So he can mix in both things, and he can do things that Gonzalez can't, and he can do things that Cuadras can't. So he might be able to outbox Sor Rungvisai. Remember, Sor Rungvisai is a bit of an unknown quantity at this point. Yes, he beat Gonzalez, very good win, but that was a guy who was standing in front of him. Juan Francisco Estrada is a little bit more durable than Cuadras, and he's not going to stand in front of Rungvisai the same way that Gonzalez is. At least I don't expect him to. So let's take a look at his weaknesses. Let's take a look at his strengths. We're not going to go too deep into it, otherwise we're going to be here all night. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you see with Juan Francisco Estrada here are his feints. Like any good boxer, he knows how to feint. And this is the thing that interests me, is that you see a lot of good guys feinting it. Terence Crawford feints, Errol Spence feints, Canelo feints, Golovkin feints, Kovalev feints, Ward feints. It's a difficult thing to do because it's easy to do it when you're shadowboxing, but it's kind of hard to remember it when you're actually in the ring during the action. And like everything else though, if you practice it enough, it becomes second nature. So I don't understand why more guys don't implement it, because it really does make your life a whole lot easier. And Juan Francisco Estrada understands this. And as we're gonna see here, he's against Brian Viloria. Whoops, things lagging a little bit. I guess he's feinting. See there, feints as if he's about to throw an uppercut, feints as if he's about to throw a right, follows it up with jabs. And this really, he doesn't just start out by feinting. He will feint in the beginning of the fight, but he'll mix it up with other things. Right now, obviously, I'm just showing you the feints. Really throws guys off for a loop because they don't know when the attack is coming and they don't know where it's coming from. Is it going to be a jab? Is it going to be a... See there, against the undefeated Milan Melindo, or who was undefeated at the time. So he feints as if he's about to go with a jab. Then he finally goes with the jab. Then comes in with a left uppercut and follows it up with a left hook that misses. But still, you can see, let's rewatch it again real quick. Again, I don't want to rewind too much. It's going to take too much time here. But see, whoop, like a half-thrown jab type of punch. So you see there, the guys are buying the feint. Now in their mind, they have to stay alert, extra alert, because they don't know when the punches are going to come. So against Roman Gonzalez, now here against Byrd. Alright, so there he mixes in feints with jabs. And Estrada's jab isn't the best jab in the world. It's not a Hall of Fame type jab, it's not extremely hard or extremely fast, but it gets the job done. He doesn't telegraph it. He uses it mostly to keep a guy out of range or in range, and to set up the rest of his offense, which, as we're gonna see, can be pretty lethal and fast. And again, sometimes the thing about Juan Francisco Estrada is he knows when to use a certain punch and when to keep it in the holster. Against Melindo here, he was really jabbing more than usual. Against Viloria, he didn't jab all that much, and I think that was because he knew Viloria was a good counterpuncher, especially with that right hand. Against Melindo though, Melindo didn't have an answer for the jab, so Estrada just went to town. And against Cuadras too, as we're gonna see. See the rolling? He can roll with the right after the jab. Steps back there. Again, doesn't telegraph it. He can go to the body with it here against Cuadras. Cuadras wide open for that jab, by the way. Maybe that's why Estrada threw it more than usual. And then there you see the combinations flow after that jab. So now you see them jabbing, and he'll feint also, as if he's about to throw the jab. So that really confuses fighters, and it makes, like I said, life easier for Estrada. Alright, so after he jabs, it sets up his power punches. And see, you can see again, he'll lead with left hooks, he'll lead with right hands, he'll lead with left hooks to the body. Again, combine this with feints, combine this with jabs, you're really confusing your opponent. And that's why Estrada is such a good fighter. See that? And this is against a good, quick fighter like Cuadras, by the way. And he's still managing to land those shots. Now again, Cuadras relies a lot on his speed, and sometimes he'll keep those hands down, see, such as there. Rungvisai also fights a little bit with his hands down. He doesn't have that great a guard. He's very confident in his ability to take punches, so that means that Estrada is going to have a lot of opportunities to land on him. Whether it's with combinations or with pot shots like this. And this is all possible because of the feints, by the way. I don't know what the hell that was that flew off his nose. I don't want to know. So you can see here, just pretty much the same. Oh, leading with uppercuts too. Leading with left hooks. Got a little wild there. Here he is against Gonzalez. A prime Roman Gonzalez, by the way. Up until that point, nobody had really given Gonzalez that tough a fight. Combination punching. This is where really Estrada, where he really shines. Nice quick hands. Good punch selection. Again, just like with the feints and with the pot shots, the punches come from all over the place. It can be 1, 2, 3, or it can be a 1-2 left uppercut followed by a right to the body and then an uppercut. I mean, he just confuses guys. And this is going to be a pretty long sequence, so I'm not going to show the slow motion too much. But you can see how the combinations flow, how he digs to the body. He usually ends his combinations to the body, as most solid veterans do. See there, he uses it with a double jab. And really the combinations are what wins him the fights. I don't see a lot of combination punchers nowadays. Canelo has good combinations, but for the most part, guys, you know, ever since Juan Manuel Marquez, who is perhaps the best combination puncher I've ever seen in my lifetime, there hasn't been any other great combination punchers. As Juan Francisco Estrada is trying to keep that tradition alive. And you can see, as soon as he's done with one punch, the other one is already on its way. We're gonna slow this one down because this is a beautiful combination. So he goes to the body, and this is just a jab to the body to really set up that right hand. As soon as he throws the right hand, the left uppercut is already coming in, and then a right to the body followed by a left hook to the body. So Viloria does not know where what punch is gonna come. Is it gonna come in the form of an uppercut, a straight punch? Is it gonna go to the body? Is it gonna go upstairs? And see, after the uppercut, Viloria goes to the body, and he thinks that Estrada is gonna go to the upstairs with the hook because that's why he's blocking it here. See, he's got his glove here, but instead he goes to the body, and it lands pretty flush right there. Beautiful combinations. And again, see how he digs there to the body at the end? This really wore Viloria down. Again, combine this with the feints, with the jabs, with the pot shots, and it's just an all-around veteran fighter that can pull this off, like Juan Francisco Estrada. See, they're a little bit on the inside there, pivoting, changing angles, not staying in the same spot. That one we had already seen before. Against Melindo, he sort of started out slowly. The combinations didn't start flowing up until the end, but once he gets going, it's pretty hard to stop Estrada's combinations. Even solid veterans, this type, look how he mixes up the shots. I mean, even if you're a professional, I don't care how good defensively you are, if you stand in front of Estrada while he's throwing those combinations, he's gonna hit you with something. Nice short right-hander that dropped Melindo. Against Cuadras, again, the fact that he was able to snap his Cuadras' head back as often as he did with those combinations really is a demonstration of Estrada's quality. This is a beautiful combination. We're going to take a look at it again. So, again, he's been feinting throughout the whole fight. So he leans in as if he's about to go to the body. Instead, he comes with a left upstairs. He catches Quadras. Quadras leans down, I suppose he's expecting a right hand. And instead, Quadras comes in with a right uppercut, followed by a left hook that misses. But then Quadras is leaning back with his hands down, and so Estrada comes in with a right hand. Left uppercut again as Quadras is leaning down. Left to the body, left upstairs. So that's like a triple left hand. We're gonna rewind and watch it again, just so you can see in the slow motion. Boom, boom. I mean, those combinations are just lethal. And I saw a video where Nacho Berenstein says that Francisco Estrada is the best that Mexico has to offer. Now, some people say that Berenstein has something against Canelo, and that's why he didn't name him. But Estrada hasn't had as many good wins as Canelo. He's not the biggest star. But you can see quality in the ring. From what you can see in the ring, he's a quality fighter, man. Definitely one of the best fighters in the world. Here he is against Gonzalez. And this was a prime Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a lot like Juan Francisco Estrada, except he's a stronger and I would say slightly better version. But his combinations are just as good as Estrada's. But if it wasn't for Estrada's combination punching, Gonzalez would have walked right through him. Those combinations from Estrada really saved his life in this fight, and they kept Gonzalez honest. The other thing I liked about Gonzalez was, Estrada in this fight, was every time he got hit with something or with a combination, he would come right back. See this? Again, the definition of flowing. These combinations are just flowing. There you see him trapped on the ropes, but he comes right back. He fights back. He's got the heart of a champion, this guy. But that could be a flaw, as we're going to see later on. And again, look at how they come from all angles, the combinations. And there, see at the end, we're going to focus on that later on as well. But see how he leans down and sort of rolls with the shots there a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit like James Toney. What is this lagging on me? Alright. Again, this is my favorite part of Estrada's arsenal, which is that combination punching. See how he just mixes in everything there. Even see there, Gonzalez is staying in there trying to roll with the shots, but if you stand in front of Estrada and you let him throw 6, 7, 8, 9 punch combinations, that's the other thing. I usually hear about people that say that throwing more than 3 punches in a combination is useless. But Estrada is not that big a puncher, so he has to throw combinations. And listen, his combinations are pretty accurate. And he mixes in the speed, he varies the power and everything. So in this case, this is one instance where combination punching really should be a staple of this guy. Again, beautiful combination. We're going to take a look in the slow motion. So he goes, he feints as if he's about to throw a right hand. Quadras buys a feint and covers up. Instead, Estrada comes in with a jab. Left hook to the body. And then while Quadras is looking down with his eyes shut, boom, catches him with a right hand. So let's take a look at that again in slow motion. And that was just, we ended that sequence there with a 1-2, classic 1-2. In terms of counter punching, again, Estrada can attack, or he can lure guys in and look for openings. Against Viloria here, he did a little bit of it as well, even though in the middle rounds, by the middle and late rounds, he was the one attacking because he felt that Viloria was starting to wear down a little bit. But you can see here, Estrada, all-around veteran. He can lead, he can counterpunch. Come on, what is this thing lagging? Anyway, here we go. Boom. See there? Not only can he attack, but when you try to attack him, he counters with lightning quick shots. And he can counter with everything, with right hands, with left uppercuts, right hands, left hooks, combination punching. You can counter with combinations too. I don't know why more people don't do that. They like to counter with one single shot and then get out of the way. Although Estrada might have to do that against Sor Rungvisai, who is a pretty strong fighter. see here, countering with combinations too. And now here he is countering the speedier Carlos Cuadras. Now the interesting thing about the Cuadras fight is that I thought, when I watched that live, I thought it was a closer fight, or it was a close fight. I had Estrada winning though. But then when I rewatched it, I actually thought that Estrada was in control, doing what he wanted to, when he wanted to, for the most part. It wasn't as close as I initially had thought. And here he is countering Estrada. You can see countering the faster guy. Boom. Let's look at that again. See, he catches the combination and boom, counters with a quick 1-2 that drops Estrada. So if he can counter Estrada, I mean, if Cuadras, Jesus Christ, if he can counter Cuadras, I don't see why he won't be able to counter Sor Rungvisai. And by the way, Sor Rungvisai, if you watch the first part of the film analysis, you can see that he's a pretty good counterpuncher. I love this sequence here, as we're gonna see here. Shifts. Yeah, see, he throws the right uppercut, he misses. So he shifts. In other words, he changes stances. Comes in with a left hook. Now he blocks the left hand. Actually, the left hand. Comes back with a left again. Goes back to his original stance and boom, catches Cuadras with a left hook. See there, he let Cuadras blow his wad there with like a 6-punch coming in. Nothing landing, nothing really hard, and Cuadras and Estrada comes in with the hardest shots. Alright, this thing is lagging all the time. Here we go. So you see here incorporating a little foot movement against Gonzalez. Sometimes he would go on the offensive and sometimes he would countering off the ropes, getting out of the way, which is what he's going to have to do against Sor Rungvisai. Countering with the left hand. And again, if you watch the Cuadras versus Sor Rungvisai fight, you can see that Cuadras was having a field day countering Sor Rungvisai. The only thing is that Cuadras slaps with his shots. Estrada, again, although he's not as tight a puncher as Gonzalez is, he is a bigger puncher than Cuadras. And he can move too. So I'm expecting him to box. In fact, there was an interview that I saw on Mexican television that Estrada understands how strong Sor Rungvisai is and that he's gonna have to box and really not stay in there. And in fact, Roman Gonzalez came out this week and said that Estrada is a very tough guy and that if he wants to win, he can't stand in there in front of Sor Rungvisai. Now this is something that we all know, right? I mean, it's obvious, he's standing in front of Sor Rungvisai, the stronger guy who has a great chin and the heart of a lion. It would be suicide to stand in front of him. So Estrada isn't a dumb fighter. I don't think he's gonna try to surprise Sor Rungvisai by staying inside. But if he does, he can actually get some work done in there. Sor Rungvisai, Estrada is a good inside fighter. He creates enough space in there most of the time to get his shots in. And this is something that he usually likes to do, which is he actually uses that left elbow to push his fighter back, create distance, and also to prevent his opponent from using his left hand. And when he's in there, notice how look at Estrada's right hand. He doesn't really load up on that right uppercut. He doesn't pull it back. It stays in position, pulls it back just a tiny little bit, and it's all hip movement that gets that combination flowing. And then he finishes with a left hook up downstairs. Look at that. That's what wore Viloria down. Now this thing is gonna start lagging on me. But again, he shouldn't really stay in there against Sor Rungvisai, because then he's gonna take body shots like those. But see how this is the other thing I like about Estrada is he'll take a shot and immediately he will come back with something else. He won't let his opponent take the play away from him. He just won't do it. And again, just like from the outside, on the inside the combinations can flow like water in a river. See how he digs in? Again, look at that left elbow. Boom, boom, boom. 5-punch combination. And then comes right back. His corner kept telling him more, more, more. And sometimes Estrada will spend all his bullets. Like at the end of the fight, you'll always see him with his hands down because he just throws combinations non-stop, especially at the end of the fight. And he has a very good gas tank too, so he can do this for the rest of, for the whole fight. or for as long as it goes. Cedar takes a shot and immediately comes back with a 3-punch combination. Viloria is a stronger puncher than Estrada, so Estrada really had to flood the gates with combination punching, because punch for punch he wasn't going to compete against Viloria. But again, very good ability to stay in there and counter on the inside, or actually lead with the combinations himself. He positions himself in a way that he won't take flush right hands or left hooks, and he knows how to cover his body up on the inside. And he just goes to town in there, digging shots, again, finishing to the body. Short right hands on the inside, that's pretty hard to do, man. A lot of people think inside fighting is easy, or easier than fighting on the outside. I would suggest you take up boxing and really try to fight at somebody on the inside, and then you tell me if it's that easy. It's an art, fighting on the inside. Again, we're not going to slow much of this down because we got a lot of clips to go. This is just one fight. Next is the Melindo, Cuadras, and Gonzalez fight. So we're just going to watch this real time. Again, he can't do this all the time against Sor Rungvisai. He's going to have to move or punch and then get in and out. In fact, if you look at the Gonzalez fight, like I pointed out in the first part of this series, when we focus on Sor Rungvisai's weaknesses, Gonzalez actually did try to do a little in and out sometimes. He would punch, lean back when Sor Rungvisai countered, and that left an opening for Gonzalez's counters, but he didn't do it all that much. For the most part, he was too content on bouncing off shots off Sor Rungvisai's head, but that doesn't work. The guy can take all the punishment you can give, so but he can't be outboxed, because again, when he counters with everything. And Estrada has faster hands than Sor Rungvisai, and I would say more precise hands as well, more precise shots. So he can come in, get out of the way, step back, or sometimes not even step back, just lean back, counter, and then pivot away or jump out of range. But you're going to see early on, he can outbox. He will be able, I think, to outbox Sor Rungvisai. The question is, can he do it for the whole 12 rounds? Because as I've said before, it's easy to win rounds against Sor Rungvisai. It's a whole different thing to keep winning them when he's digging shots to the body, taking everything you have, and he's pushing you back against the ropes. Here he is against Melindo, digging shots on the inside, going upstairs afterwards. And again, you can see, if you compare him to the Gonzalez's combination punching, not quite the same pop in Estrada's shots. And just as I said that he staggers Melindo there. But again, it mostly has to do with the precision punch. Estrada is not a light puncher. In terms of punching, I would say Cuadras is a lighter puncher than Estrada. But still, if Gonzalez couldn't break Sor Rungvisai, I don't think it's in Estrada's best interest to stay in there and just try to outgun Sor Rungvisai. That would be suicide. And you can see here against Gonzalez, Estrada held his own on the inside. Something not everybody can do, and not everybody walks away from it or goes the distance with Gonzalez by staying inside, but Estrada did, I should say. And now in terms of defense, Estrada can do it all. He can... Now this isn't in order, by the way, so we're going to be taking a look at a mix of things here. So you see he can use head movement to pivot and then pivot away. You can see feet movement there. There he gets a little too open. He gets hit with a body shot. But, hold on a second. Alright. See, he parries shots there. Blocks and parries and steps back. Lateral movement. My goodness, why does this thing keep lagging? Alright. See, he can roll with the right hands after throwing jabs. He can parry shots. Parrying. Blocking. Rolling with the right. Rolling with the right. Parrying. I mean, you guys get what's going on. He can do it all. And we're going to take a look eventually at his head movement as well. See, they're blocking. They're weaving and rolling afterwards. Beautiful sequence. You guys can slow this down at home, by the way, if you want. But we got a lot to get through, so... Beautiful upper body movement. Rolling with the shots and then coming back. This is what I like about Estrada, is that he doesn't just stay in there. I mean, if he does stand in front of a fighter, he'll see the combination, rolls with the left, rolls with the right, and then rolls with the right hand and comes back with a right uppercut to the body, and I think a little left hook, and then he catches, or not catches, but he feels the left fan and right away comes back with a right that misses. But he's a pretty active fighter on the inside. Again, see how he rolls with the shots? And then pivots away and comes out. This is what he's going to have to do against Sor Rungvisai. If he does choose to stay in there, because he's going to have to at some point, he should counter with combinations and pivot away, step out, roll with the shots, whatever. But do not stay in there for more than 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. See, they're pivoting. This is another beautiful sequence. We're going to take a look at it again real quick. So he's moving back, moving to the side. He makes Melindo follow him. And just as Melindo thinks he's safe and that Estrada's not doing much other than running, he weaves and boom, comes in with a left hook that breaks Melindo's guard. See again how he rolls in between the shots and then immediately comes back with a combination. Here he is making the fast-handed quadras miss. And then, see, that's the thing. Rarely will Estrada just make you miss and not make you pay. He's an offensive-minded fighter. And he's, like I said, true professional. He wants to make you miss and make you pay. Which is, again, as we all know, the name of the game when it comes to boxing. Here he is using good defense against Gonzalez, pivoting away. Again, Gonzalez is the strongest fighter he's ever faced, and he's going to be taking a strong fighter in Sor Rungvisai. Now, this wasn't defense. This is just 3 less clips of how he's... See how he's able to stay in there, shifts, and then gets enough space, real close. Doesn't really pull the hand back, but gets enough power in there to snap Quadras' head back. Here again, nice left hook on the inside, really moves Quadras. The thing about Estrada is I think he's starting to get stronger, especially now that he has 115. It just seems like he's getting stronger. He can punch harder now than he used to like 5 years ago. But again, that doesn't give him a right to stand in front of Sor Rungvisai. Now let's take a look at his weaknesses. Now, weaknesses are he can get hit. He's not a defensive wizard, and the thing is the body. Again, he has gotten stronger, but the times I've seen him take body shots such as this, see how he really reacts. Like he does. I know nobody likes body punches, but he sort of freezes when he gets hit to the body. And sometimes that's his own fault because he stays right in there. Now, did you see the right hand there? I know Sor Rungvisai is a southpaw, so it's not going to come from the same angle, but Sor Rungvisai does throw good straight left hands. And you see how open Estrada is to that one. He gets doubled over a little bit. He felt that shot. He felt that one as well. There you see how he gets bent over a little bit because of those shots. He can't stay in there against Sor Rungvisai. I know I keep repeating it, but it's because it's the most important thing. And Quadras hit him with a couple of body shots. Again, not the hardest shots, but Gonzalez is a good body puncher, and he dug some good body punches in there that froze Estrada and kept him pinned on the ropes either. Now, Sor Rungvisai doesn't throw the type of combinations that Gonzalez throws, but he does throw punches in succession, even though they're not as refined as Gonzalez. So if he freezes, see how he bent Estrada over with that right to the body again. Oof, wide open for that right on the plexus. It double Estrada over, and it opens the door for more combinations. And that's what Sor Rungvisai is going to have to do. Here we see Estrada. He weaves and he stays there down too long and gets hit with an uppercut. There again. Sometimes he stays there and admires his work. See there? Well, this one is actually a different series, but let's just take a look at it. See, he punches and he stays there. Can't do it against Sor Rungvisai because Sor Rungvisai, like I said, underrated counterpuncher, and he just doesn't care about getting hit. He goes in there knowing he's going to take shots, and he's prepared to take a shot, to give a shot, or to punch in between your combinations. So if Estrada thinks it's going to be easy to just bounce shots off Sor Rungvisai. Yes, it's going to be easy to hit him, but Sor Rungvisai is going to be punching right there along with him. So Estrada can't afford to just punch and stay in front of Sor Rungvisai. Here you can see him jabbing and stays there, but not only does he stay there, he stays there with his hand low and gets hit with the right hand. Beautiful combination there. That wasn't actually Estrada's fault. That's just a beautiful combination for quadras. Straight right downstairs, followed by a right uppercut. Actually, it is a little bit of Estrada's fault because he's too relaxed. He's just standing in there. You know, why is he standing there not moving his hands? And again, against Gonzalez, not really his fault. Gonzalez is a tremendous combination puncher. And see that little pivot there by Gonzalez? You know, Sor Rungvisai doesn't do a lot of that. He can do it, as we saw in his film analysis. But for the most part, he just likes to stand in front of guys and throw bombs. This, pivoting on the inside, doesn't really do that all that much. You know, stepping to the sides. See Estrada there, willing to go to war, but he just got plastered by combination. See, again, here he throws a jab, left hand too low. And again, not really his fault. I mean, it's not... I'm not saying that it's not, but it's not completely his fault because Viloria is a quick counterpuncher. But again, that left hand too low. Again there, he got clipped and he got hurt. In this sequence against Melindo, could have been worse. He comes in, gets too close. The left hand is down. And, see here. The right hand sort of missed, but man, that could have been lights out for him. Again there. There again, left hand low. There he got clipped and he got staggered a little bit. Why? Because he's coming in straight, same angle, and with the hand down. And the shoulder, his left shoulder is not protecting his chin. So he gets caught there. And you can see him do a little jig there. Let's see that again. Boom. A little stagger there. There he overextended. Again, up close, left hand, not protecting him. And he got staggered there. But he was at the end of the round, so that the bell saved him. Again, hands down there. There he gets clipped and he gets frozen by the body shots. Again, not really his fault. I mean, it's Gonzalez that's creating all of this. So that was another BDA film analysis. The keys to victory for Estrada are going to have to be: do not stay on the inside for more than 3-4 seconds. Use your lateral movement, combination punching, jab, use a left hand to distract Sor Rungvisai. A lot of people in the comment section have been mentioning how very few have actually tried to jab against Sor Rungvisai. This is a chance for Estrada to really shine, let his combinations flow, and mix everything up. You know, boxing, a little bit of inside fighting, not too much, and just confused because he saw Quadras was making Sor Rungvisai look bad in the early rounds. And I know that fight was about 5 years ago or 4 years ago. So Sor Rungvisai has gotten better. He's not as wild as he used to be, but still, he looked great against Gonzalez because Gonzalez was standing right in front of him. I want to see how he does against Estrada, who's a complete fighter, who can move and who can fight on the inside and who can counterpunch. Anyway, tell us what we got right, what we got wrong. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, folks.